Hey there, Pisces. Welcome. I realize you probably can't hear me, so there we go. You could probably hear me now, so welcome, Pisces. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. We are going to do a reading for the week of April 7th, and we are just going to jump right in here. You have this Libra card. It says new love. It says a new romantic relationship is unfolding that will be deeply meaningful to you. You have this Phoenix rising. It says you've been through the fire and rising up anew and embracing life in a deeper way. Now, damn if that isn't true, Pisces, because I definitely feel that, this year could be a little bit of a turning point year for you. I think the King of Wands is what makes the most sense here because, I'm not saying this year is going to be perfect, but I do think that it's a good year for Pisces to build confidence, to kind of like ask for things that they want, which is a big part of your, soul evolution, if you want to make it sound fancy, right, Pisces? That, right now I think it's time for Pisces to claim what they deserve. The example I always use for you, Pisces, is that it's time for you to ask. You cannot make this up. You have this card. It says request on it. It's time for you to ask, right? It's time for you to ask for the things you want and claim the things you want. It's time for you to, where I was going with that is the example I always use is money. Like, it's time for Pisces to make money. It's time for Pisces to not always have to be struggling and things like that as well. So, I think you're kind of developing the confidence, to do that. And, it's obviously that's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. And, it's definitely a major theme that you will be working on this year. Also, clearly there could be love coming in for you if you want it. I mean, you have basically every sign here. Who isn't attracted to Pisces? That's really the question, right, Pisces? So, it could be any sign. You start with the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is about your resources. I would say that, this quarter two, yeah, I realize this is a weekly reading, but at the beginning of the quarter here in April, I would definitely keep an eye on your finances. Money actually looks pretty good for you, I think, but, I always think that I think for Pisces, it's like when Pisces makes money, they spend it. And so I feel like this reading is saying, if you're making money or if something happens, not even just this week, but I would say for the first 6 weeks of this quarter, basically into the second week of May, we'll say, I would just put a little bit extra to the side and hold on to it. I do like the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Sun card. The other thing I noticed is you have this Wonders card at the end. Sorry, wrong camera. So you have this Wonders card. This card always reminds me of an iceberg. It's like you see a little bit right here of this crystal, and there's more below the surface. What's really interesting is that all the readings for quarter two were about things, there being more to the story, or there's more than meets the eye with opportunities. After I finished the readings, I realized what this really is. I don't really think, after I said that to basically everyone for quarter two, what I really feel like the universe is saying is that the universe is trying to get us to see our full potential. So, which you might say that those two ideas are the same, but really they're not. I think that it's not so much that we're getting opportunities that have more to offer than we realize. I think that could be a little part of it. I think that we need to realize that we have more to offer than we realize. And the Queen of Pentacles says that you have skills or, you have resources that could make you very successful. And then we go over to the Sun here, and the Sun reveals things to us. So in a lot of ways, you could be going through this process of revealing your skills, right? Which I think would be a great way for Pisces to make money at this time. So it would be a great time to learn a new skill. It would be a great time to develop a skill that you already have, or do something, to learn something new, right? And, I think it would be a good time for that. And anything, the thing about the Sun is it shines a light on things, right? It's like a spotlight in the reading. So it should be a skill that you've been thinking about doing anyway. You have the King of Wands, probably your most important card here in this reading. I think the King of Wands is encouraging you to have the confidence, to develop confidence, to be bold, to be assertive. I think I said to you, not in the last readings I did, but for the first week of April, I think I'm pretty sure it was that reading where I said something about, it's like you need to realize that maybe your ideas are good. Like maybe maybe your ideas for life, for the world, are better than everyone else's. It's like, I think that's like part of Pisces karma. It's like Pisces comes up with ideas for like the world or for their life or whatever, and they feel too small to share those ideas. And really the King of Wands is encouraging that development of confidence that we were talking about. You have the King of Swords. Yes, you know everything. King of Swords is the card of knowledge and wisdom. And we go up Page of Swords to the Sun here. Page of Swords is about being curious, being playful as well with the Page of Wands. Like I said, I think it would be a great idea for you to, play around with any new skills or anything that you've always wanted to do, Pisces. I would like play around with it. I don't know. I don't have any good examples. Like starting in the middle of March, I started writing every single day. I started this challenge, this course. It's like a 30-day writing challenge, right? Because I've always wanted to be a better writer, right? And so it's like I've been doing it. I've been really enjoying it. And it's I never considered myself really a good writer. So but like I said, I've really enjoyed it. So like I am doing this. I'm just like playing around with the idea and just seeing what will happen, right? And I think that would be really good. It could be anything. It could be writing. It could be maybe you want to learn how to jump rope. I don't care what it is. I would pick something and just do it, right? So let's see. With the Queen of Wands, you have the King of Pentacles. Good. Definitely could be some sort of divine counterpart. I do think it's a good time for Pisces for love. Again, I think having the North Node in your sign is a lot of lessons. It's kind of like when the chickens, they say when the chickens come home to roost, right? When that North Node is transiting through your sign. So it's been there for whatever, 2 months, 3 months, something like that. It'll be there. North Node stays in a sign for like 18 months. So, basically for the rest of the year and a little bit into next year, you are kind of like developing this confidence, which could be part of the North Node with Saturn there. Saturn is like responsibility, but, I think with those two things, it could be helping you develop confidence. I think this is about putting yourself first in connections. It's like Pisces, again, can be a little bit of a people pleaser. And so this is about like making sure that you're kind of like getting your needs met as well. Six of Pentacles right here at the end. The good news is that the Six of Pentacles shows up in the good stuff. So it's kind of like you are finding a person who also meets your needs, right? With the King of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, slow. I said it would be a process. I definitely got that feeling on the King of Wands. It's like, yes, you are going to be working on developing your confidence over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. So I think you're making progress. You're just doing what you need to do there. With the King of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. Like, oh, what if my ideas are actually good ideas, right? Seven of Cups. He is dreaming, and he's looking at these cups. There are good things and bad things in these cups, but he won't know what the outcome is going to be unless he manifests this dream on Earth, whatever it is. Seven of Cups could be very simple. It could be an idea that you think will improve your life. It could be a plan, a wish, a goal, dream, whatever. But again, you're not going to know unless you take action. I would really encourage playful action. Like I said, with these two pages here. These two pages are about just experimenting, having fun, just seeing how things go. Speaking of writing, this morning, the article I wrote for the daily activity today was all about collecting data, right? It's like we have to try something. Every single time we try something, we get a little bit of information, whether it worked or it didn't, and we know what to do next, right? And that's really what these two cards are saying right here. There you go. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Process Your Feelings card and this Cleansing card. This is coming up in the area of what's coming in for you. I do think it would be, again, I think if you want a connection, this is really asking you to do that. It's like saying, this isn't about being greedy or selfish or anything like that, but, I think it's saying, hey, if a person approaches you, like, do you actually want it, or do you just not want to be alone, And this looks good, so I would say you probably want it, but I think that these cards are encouraging you to, like, take your time. I think, as a Pisces, I totally do this too. It's like we rush right into relationships. We don't really take the time to necessarily think about it. And I think this is saying, think about it, process it, right? And just see if you really want to be in something, and that's it, right? You have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Knight of Cups could definitely be a knight in shining armor, and you have the sun right next to it, so if you want a connection, definitely looks really good. The Knight of Cups is also about kind of planting seeds. He's standing in the desert, but he has this water flowing in front of him. And the story of the card is that he's imagining something. And if he would plant seeds in front of that water, they would grow. So definitely time to get started on anything that you're thinking about getting started on. You have the Page of Swords. Kind of interesting. He's looking over at the Knight of Pentacles. I kind of feel that, if you are attracting a person, you could find out that, a person has been watching you for a while or has had their eye on you for a while. Not in a creepy way, but, just maybe it's a person and maybe they've been interested for a little bit of time and you could be discovering that. I also feel that, the whole curiosity thing, I think it would be a great time for you to be curious about, ideas, having more of that attitude of just, I'll just see how this goes and I'm not going to attach anything to it, which the Page of Wands really is kind of the card of non-attachment in some ways. That's not really accurate tarot, but he is very happy-go-lucky. He just is excited by an adventure, and he says, I'm just going to see how this goes, and I'm going to do it for as long as it's fun, right? And I think having that attitude at this time would be good for you. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups, of course, is celebration, happiness. It can also be a reunion as well. I do feel like some of you could be reuniting with something, but not like a person. We go up here to the Page of Wands to the Six of Pentacles. I feel like saying you're reuniting with an investment. I don't know that this is really a financial investment, although it could be. Some of you, it's maybe you put money into something a while ago and it's you're getting a result now. Those are the words that popped into my head. Reuniting with an investment is what I was getting with those cards. I also think this could just be something that you've done before. It's you could have done an investment of time. You could have put your time into a project or an idea. And remember what I said earlier. It's the chickens are coming home to roost this week. Maybe that's a good, maybe that is a good description of this energy. I'm still not sure. I still don't know how I feel about it. We'll see as we clarify. But, it kind of is giving me that vibe of, the return of energy or the return of something. These three ladies are celebrating a harvest. So it's almost like there could be a harvest coming from the past, past work. I feel like it could be a little bit more subtle than that, though, Pisces. So for some of you, for example, it's maybe you learned a lesson from the past and it's benefiting you now is kind of what I feel like saying. With the Knight of Cups, yes, you have the Justice card. If this is love, Justice and Six of Pentacles, I call the tennis match of love, right? You hit the ball to their side, you wait for them to return the favor and hit the ball to your side, and you just have this nice little back and forth. So I think not rushing, taking your time, looking at the evidence with the Justice card as well. We have to make sure that what we are investing in, we're getting something back for. So as long as you do that, things will go well. With the Page of Swords, you have here you go, the Ten of Pentacles. I told you it's time for Pisces to make money. I've been saying this for months. And Ten of Pentacles is ultimate security. And this isn't about materialism. This is just about, it's time for Pisces to make money. And it's just that simple. So I feel for a lot of you, whatever you're working on really could be something that could be very successful for you or could provide a certain level of security for you. I always say, Ten of Pentacles, it doesn't have to be billions of dollars. It could just be enough or a little bit more than enough, so you're not just scraping by. And I think that the Ten of Pentacles is really, I look at it as a card of creating a beautiful life. It doesn't say you have it yet. It just says, hey, you have this vision of creating the 10 Pentacles. The 10 Pentacles form the tree of life. There are certain pieces of your life that you would like to have. And the Ten of Pentacles is really about creating it, taking the time and putting in the effort to make it happen. And that's what I would do here. With the Three of Cups, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is this or that thinking. With the Seven of Cups, that's going to cause problems for sure. So, I would just be open to other ways of doing things. She is thinking this or that, but really she has that new island behind her there. And, I always say this is my card of third place solutions. She just thinks this or that, but really there might be other ways of working on her projects or ideas. And, I think this is more about allowing with the Page of Wands showing up right here. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this prepare card and this request card. So it's definitely time to ask for the things that you want. I feel like it's time to prepare for something you've requested as well. Like if you've asked for love, you have the Ace of Cups in this row. It's like saying, hey, you've asked for it and here it is. So, there definitely could be a person who's approaching you this month. It, might not be like this week, but I definitely feel that the next 2 months, really, I mean, as we go through, April gets a little bit better, then May is really good for love, which I just said in your second quarter reading that I just did. So I think that you need to, it's like you're about to receive something that you have requested. You have the Sun, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. The Sun, of course, is the best card in the deck. Makes the whole entire reading more positive, but the Sun is like a spotlight, and I do feel that, like, there's something you need to pay attention to. The Sun shines a light on something, and you have to pay attention to your attention to know what that is. So, again, obviously you're all different. You all have different wants, needs, and desires, but I would pay attention to the things that you keep paying attention to. Usually the Sun is like something that we keep thinking about. Like we think, oh, I should do this, I should do that. And the idea keeps popping into our heads. And so those are the ideas that I would pay attention to with the Sun. The thing about the Sun is that it does represent ease. This baby here, child, is carrying this big banner, which is meant to look very heavy, but he is carrying it very easily and he's not struggling. So it kind of, the Sun I always look at as a card of like, I think we all have skills that we can do better than other people. And it's like those skills are the skills that we have that where we can move more energy easily, right? So it's like, what skills do you need to develop so that you can get a bigger bang for your buck with the Sun? With the Page of Wands, we already talked about it, but I very a very enthusiastic, optimistic energy in this reading. I feel it for sure. I mean, Three of Cups, Sun, the Ten of Pentacles, all these good cards here. So I think that you could be feeling very optimistic and more excited for the future this week, which kind of makes sense. Mercury moving forward this week, today on the 7th, I'm recording this before the 7th, and it will be out on April 1st. Happy April Fools, right? But, maybe once we get past the 7th, the first day of the week, you're going to start feeling a lot more optimistic, which makes sense. And again, that will improve as we move through April. Venus goes direct on the 12th or whatever, so you'll probably feel even better after that. And the Page of Wands, he just moves towards his enthusiasm. If something excites him, he does it. That's it. You have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, really solid love offer. I think this has been slow or something because, the King and Queen of Pentacles, which you start with, are great divine counterparts. They represent two people who really want to put the work in to make something happen. The thing is that they both can be slow and they both, it can be a little bit boring with those two, but you do have the King of Wands here. So I don't think the King and Queen of Wands are bad, but sometimes they're missing a little bit of that like spiciness that a relationship needs. But luckily you have that King of Wands. Also the Ace of Cups would be, definitely a lot of love. So if you're looking for love, it looks amazing. With the Sun, you have the Two of Pentacles here. Yeah, Two of Pentacles, like work hard, play hard. Definitely, I think it's something Pisces needs to do is like make sure you're balancing things out. We have the Justice card right here. We have the Six of Pentacles. He's holding a balance just like on the Justice card here. So, making sure that if you're working, that you're taking a break. If you're taking a break, make sure that eventually you get back to work. And as long as you balance those things out, you will be fine. With the Page of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Really good because, again, I think you're probably moving on to calmer shores. After the retrograde, Mercury especially could be a big improvement. And Six of Swords just represents moving on to calmer shores. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Four of Swords. Sorry, I dropped it. So you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. And, definitely with that Two of Pentacles, if you're working too hard, make sure you take a break. Also another card of asking for something. He is hoping and praying for a blessing. There is a person blessing another person in the stained glass window. So some of you could be receiving some sort of blessing this week, or clearly you've requested something and you need to prepare to receive it. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Enlightenment card and this Wonders card. Like I said, the Wonders card is like my iceberg card. It's like you're not seeing everything. The Enlightenment card does say you are probably being enlightened to what you haven't seen, but I think I kind of, again, calling myself out here, Pisces, I think I kind of got it wrong in those quarter two readings. I don't think it's, after thinking about it after, like I did all 12, I don't think it's so much that we're like getting opportunity. Like the way I was reading it is it was like we're getting opportunities where there's more than meets the eye. But I think that's wrong. I think that really what it is that we are seeing our full potential. The universe is making us kind of see our full potential, and that's probably something that you're working on at this time by developing confidence, right? You have the Six of Pentacles, the Temperance card, and the Five of Swords. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. Definitely something about like an investment returning, or maybe you're seeing the results for some sort of lesson that you learned, or a lesson that you learned in the past is benefiting you. I would also like pay attention to any repeat opportunities as well. It's like sometimes I do think life gives us like a little bit of a boost that way, where it's like maybe you missed an opportunity in the past that you should have taken, and I kind of get the feeling that there could be something that like looks similar to a good opportunity that you missed in the past. And again, if you get that opportunity again or something similar, I would take it, because again, it just feels to me like you're able to take advantage of it better or whatever. And it could be financial. So, this could be anything, but I would definitely look into it with the Six of Pentacles for sure. You also have two sixes here connected. I love two sixes. Two sixes is kind of like confirmation for your path or confirmation for your journey. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is about alchemy, turning one thing into another. Coming up in the good stuff, I feel that your patience is being rewarded here, especially if you've been waiting for a long time. I think I said this in your last reading as well. If you've been waiting like a few years for love and you just haven't had it, I feel some of you could be attracting something really great into your life with this card. But I also just feel that you are turning your situation around. Again, it's such an optimistic reading, and I do think it's been hard to be optimistic for Pisces since the beginning of the year, just based off the astrology. I mean, having Saturn in your sign alone, I like Saturn. I don't think Saturn is bad, but at the same time, it is the taskmaster. It is, relentless energy, relentless pressure with Saturn. And so some of you might be feeling like the energy is letting off. I always say it's like a planet isn't the same after it's been in your sign for a long time. I mean, it's been in your sign for like a year and a half or so, Saturn. So you've learned all that time. So it's not going to be like as bad as it was in the beginning, because you're learning the energy all the way through. And I feel a lot of you could be kind of like alchemizing things, turning things around with that card. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords in the good stuff can represent winning. The guy at the front of the card here is the winner. He's walking away the winner. The card itself, to me, in the good stuff represents taking some sort of risk. With the Six of Swords here, this would be about, moving on to calmer shores, I think. So we go here. We have the Six of Swords down to the Five of Swords. It's like you could be taking a risk to move towards your optimism as well with that Page of Wands, which is risky because, again, he's about to do something, the Page of Wands, and he doesn't know if it's going to work or not. It just feels good. That's it. And that's not necessarily a good reason to do things, right? I also feel you could be taking a risk on love after taking a break. So if you've been on a break from relationships, you could be attracting new love. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Magician. Magician in Temperance is a little bit of a change. The Magician can represent reinvention. And, it's a great time to reinvent yourself. We talked about building confidence. We talked about claiming the things that you desire to have in life. And I think those types of, those personality traits or whatever, if you're developing those things, then you are reinventing yourself. I always pull the card that the Magician is pointing to, and you have this Adventures card. Yes, Page of Wands. We are in an amazing time for adventure. I mean, every single reading for the past year has been about going on adventures. So I think it is an amazing time for adventure, but I also think that, you could be going on adventures, like doing new things, getting out of the house, having fun, all that good stuff. With the Temperance card, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish in the good stuff, so you could be getting something you wish for. I mean, you have that request card. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, it's like you're getting something you've asked for. I mean, Four of Swords. You have so many cards that kind of say that. So that looks good. And with the Five of Swords, what do you know? You have the Lovers. So definitely could be taking a risk on a connection here. I think it's just because maybe you haven't had a connection in a while. So, that could be why you are, allowing a person into your life, right? You have this diamond card. It says you'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. Could be a new connection for sure. So, and I would just take your time. Don't fall in love with this person after an hour of talking to them, even though you'll probably fall in love with them over time. Take your time is what the reading is saying. You have the staff card. It says you will be taken care of in difficult times. It's almost like I feel you are believing this, where it's like you are believing, maybe if you look back at your life, you're saying, you know what? Every time something scary happened that I thought was scary, really didn't turn out that bad. Like it's almost like this card is saying to me that you are having that realization that no matter what, you always seem to be taken care of. And, believing that can also make that happen more. You have this crib card. It says birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. Sure, some of you could be having a child, but based off the reading, I think you are birthing something new. You are being reborn. You are changing. So this could just be you. You have this May card and this success card, which is great. Like anything you're working on could be becoming more successful between now and May, or you could be increasing your levels of success between now and May. You have the shield card. It says you need to defend yourself. This is about putting up boundaries. Again, I don't think you have to do anything. I think you have to be confident, be bold. That's really what this is saying. So that's what I would do there. But I love this for you, Pisces. Like, it's a little bit different as well. So I like that, but it looks good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.